Hey, Adam, you know what you should do to your wife? You should fuck her and dump her.
Hit it and quit it.
Yeah.
Sorry, William just gave me this advice that I should fuck you. No, we're married. We've been having sex for 10 years, but he said that I should fuck you one more time and then dump you.
Hit it and quit it, bro. We never said which hit
All
you got to
right.
quit on. Never said which hit. You
That's
could
true.
go another. Yeah, you could go another 5 years if you wanted.
You're like 80. Be like, I'm sorry, babe. That's my
Babe.
philosophy.
This is my hit. This is the hit I quit on.
Hit it and eventually at some point quit it
You're dying.
after you've
That's when you
after
break
you've
up, right before your
devoted
final breath.
an entire life.
break.
Yeah.
I want to
That's
break
your
it up
final-
on your deathbed. Yeah.
You're about to have your little death rattle and then shit your pants.
Dude,
And you
that
just go,
has to
Be
be
like,
a
I just really
sketch.
want to see other people. I think that we should.
You break
I just feel
up,
like I should.
I've
That
already had
has
the
to be a
paperwork
sketch.
figured out.
It's such a good premise.
That's good. I love.
Oh, really? You like the dark stuff? Because I'm sunshine and rainbows.
I think that'd be a good plot for a movie.
You're dark, dude.
And then
The
it's just a
long
guy
Long
and he's in his deathbed. And he's like, the nurse comes in. He's like, hey, yeah, I just broke up with my wife, so I'm single now.
The rest of the movie is just him trying to fuck this nurse because he's the only
Or like the
person he sees
janitor,
before he
anyone in the
dies.
hospital,
Yeah.
the doctor.
He eventually just shifts over to. He doesn't even care if it's a man or a woman. He just needs to make it worth it.
This
Fucks
would be a
another old
perfect.
man janitor.
I can see this as a perfect Kids in the Hall sketch. It's like Bruce McCullough, you know,
I was
You just have-
immediately. It was Bruce McCullough in my mind too once you said that.
and it's just like cuts one after
Be like,
the other after the other.
Yeah.
Scott
Can't really see
Thompson
my
is
stuff because of my weird.
Scott Thompson's like a big tittied nurse.
Yeah. Mark is or no.
The wife. Mark is the wife.
Yeah, Mark is the wife. I was gonna say no. It should be Kevin.
Dave Foley. No, Dave Foley's the best wife.
Who's
That's what I
who
was
would you?
picturing as the nurse. Dave Foley as the nurse.
Dave Foley's
Which
the
Kids
hottest
in the Hall-
woman on Kids in the Hall.
That's the one you
Yeah,
would
that's
fuck.
why she's the nurse.
That's
He's
the
the nurse.
Kids in the Hall and drag that you would fuck, William.
Yes.
What other kids would you fuck?
Excuse me.
I
What other
don't like
kids
I
would
don't
you
like
fuck?
Bruce McCullough's pig nose girls. Those are annoying. Like like the awkward
I
girls. he
appreciate Scott
plays.
Thompson's femininity. I feel like Scott Thompson, ironically, is the least gay person to fuck from
I
Kids in the
know.
Hall and drag.
Definitely. No,
So,
he's the best actor on the show.
Which one do you think's the biggest bully on set?
Dave,
What?
maybe. I know
dude,
in
you haven't watched the documentaries.
I'm trying
Yeah.
to transition.
Oh, bully. Oh, I see. It was a good transition, obviously, because neither of us
Also-
knew what you were doing.
Yeah, it was the most translucent transition.
well, is the Butcher Boy about a bully or is it about a butcher boy?
It's about a bully who ends up. Wait, yeah. Did we watch the same movie?
He's not
You
a
think
bully.
he's-
He's just Irish.
He's a bully, dude. He's
a little
literally
Irish
is like he's a sociopathic bully.
They're all like that, Ryan.
He doesn't treat everybody bad though. There's some people he really cares about, like Joe.
And then he ends up treating them bad. Oh, you're right. He's like the Joker.
I never heard of
The
this movie,
Joker never
William.
kills Batman.
This is kind
Yeah.
of a little kid Irish Joker performance.
We'll get into it, but did this inspire the bully video game? Because the kid looks the exact same from that.
You know
might have
what
been
inspired
influenced by
the
that.
You know what a big influence on that bully game was? The movie that you did not like, Ryan. Rushmore. Fucking the Scottish.
I
guy with the
get
messy hair.
I get why, because I want to beat the fuck out of anybody who thinks that movie's cool. I'm a bully. It made me want to be a
Damn.
bully.
Yeah,
So I
you're
get
a
the
bully now.
reference. I get the reference.
You didn't finish watching Rushmore, right?
Shit.
Exactly.
But
I
did
was
you
too
finish
busy
watching?
Giving kids wedgies with stupid plastic rim glasses like that. Man, if you wear glasses and
bullying
I
a little
catch your
kid?
ass, if I catch your ass wearing spectacles around me, you're done.
You're like
But
Drobit
Ryan,
Taylor, but he's also bullying little kids.
Hold on,
Fucking nerds.
Ryan. You're wearing horn rim, or you like you have like what kind of glass? You have like mid-century, like
Buddy Holly shit.
Mm-mm.
yeah. You're a glass. You're a
William's
spectacle wearing.
I'm wearing. They used to call me.
Spectacle
They
wearing
call me.
testicle.
I went to a wedding and they called me White MLK because I'm
Oh yeah,
wearing his
you have
glass. I'm
Malcolm.
wearing the
No,
same.
yeah, yeah.
Malcolm X. That's what
Malcolm X.
Oh, I'm
MLK
sorry,
didn't wear
Malcolm X.
glasses.
Malcolm X.
He's notorious for having great vision. Used to have great vision.
What about Malcolm Specs?
R.I.P.
That's what they called. They should have called me White Malcolm Specs.
That's his the glasses line that all the Nation of Islam guys wear.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh, that's a really good company name.
No, they called me White
Specs.
MLK. They called me White MLK because I cheated on my girlfriend a bunch.
Hey,
You know what Malcolm X's
that's
last
the
words
fact
were?
that you bring up first about MLK. What?
I want a divorce. He was shot and he was laying on the ground and he was like, someone tell my wife I want to break up. I need to move on. I need a new chick.
Where's the chick? Where's a lady? Where's a different lady besides my wife?
You see, there's a very important thing in life, and that is you can't get what we in the pickup community call one-itis. You can't be obsessed with one person.
Tell us how it is, William.
The butcher boy could have learned that lesson. He has one-itis for his friend Joe. All he wants is
you know what's funny? I just finished the last season of You, and his name is Joe, and he has one-itis or whatever you just called it. That's the whole premise of that show, You.
One-itis?
He's obsessed with one person. The show YOU.
That's what the show is about, him like learning to come out of his own shell. And
no, he just has a cool dad. People. He has a cool drunk musician dad, so he just turns into this.
Is this the one about the stalker? I don't.
Yeah,
it's like Dexter for girls.
I don't like to watch Netflix.
I don't watch Netflix.
Netflix is lower tier television, in my opinion.
What your opinion's lower tier?
Why are we talking about this show? Great show.
I'm a movie watcher. Okay, I only watch full length feature films.
Where do you find the time? I only watch 8 hours of one show in one sitting.
I've actually watched 2 seasons of Succession in like the last week, trying to catch up.
Oh, gotcha.
And TV,
quite naughty.
TV is good and all, but with a movie like The Butcher Boy, you just get really good acting.
Right.
This kid.
Who is this kid?
I forget. Eamon Owens or something. He's kind of rusty at the beginning of the movie, but he gets really good by the end of the movie, which is something I think happens with a lot of child actors.
Well, I didn't know who was the main character for the first part for a second. Who was doing the voiceover, and then it was like, oh.
It was Daw. Adam, have you heard of this movie? What was your first tell us about the first time you heard of this movie.
I didn't know. I had never. It was last night when I downloaded it and watched it for the first time. And I'm surprised, honestly, that this movie's not talked about more. It's like super. Actually, I have a theory. This movie is really good and like goes to like some crazy places and stuff, and it like goes there the way you want a movie to and everything. Has this really good like amazing kid performance. Just like a little Irish shithead.
It's like funny. It's entertaining.
It redheaded bastard you ever met.
Yeah, it has super entertaining. Tone.
And and also does the thing where it's like it has like a dark comedy to it, where like the kid has like a dark comedic point of view about all like the trials and tribulations of his life. It's very Irish sort of stuff,
drunk dad. Yeah.
But my theory about why this movie is
like all the Irish people I've met.
Tell us your theory.
Yeah, did you feel like this was true to the Irish culture, this movie?
What was your theory, Adam?
Oh yeah. Just that the beginning is so insane and loud, and everything is being screamed and stuff like that.
Here we go.
With the noise again?
Don't do that. No, not here we go.
Movies were just more exciting in the 90s because they had to move and they were like Movies in the 90s were
That's how
like
you
made on.
cheat.
Well, the beginning is like them like screaming at full vol. Everything is a scream. Every line
Also,
uttered
have
is
you
a
never met
scream.
Bill Burr?
The
These are little
music is
kids. This
really,
is how
really
kids
intense and
act, though.
crazy.
These
Yeah,
are
I get
little
it. They're on
kids
a
having
tear.
fun. They're having fun in the
Yeah.
woods. Yeah.
But not only just that, like the first like 20, 30 minutes, I would say. There's even a point like every character that enters is
So what's
really
your
loud
theory?
and like
What is your
intense.
theory? What
That
is
that
your
that that,
theory?
that this is why the
What?
movie maybe is
Okay,
not
this is I was giving you a chance, you know. Look,
yeah,
the
I'm
reason why
taking
this
the
movie's
chance and
not the reason why
succeeding.
this movie's not more popular, because I saw this movie when it came out, or at least on video, is because it never came out on DVD until 2006. It's
That's a good
just
theory too.
no one watched it. Like it was,
When
I
was
didn't
it
have
made?
this 1997, so it took like 6 years for it to come out on DVD, and by then DVDs were kind of dying and they were kind of over.
That's 9 years.
I think like if this came out now with like now there's like boutique Blu-ray labels that like are selling like old catalog films, and I think you could get more people into it because it is horror movie fans would like this movie because it's kind of like a horror movie. It's kind of like he's kind of like a psychotic person. He's kind of like Travis
He's a
Bickle.
sociopath.
He's kind of like
No, he's just an average Irish kid.
there's
No,
a movie.
he's damaged. His dad is like abusing him. He's like pretending to be the.
This is the average Irish kid.
There's a movie, Heavenly Creatures. This is very similar to. There's a movie Dennis Hopper made called Out of the Blue with the little girl from Days of Heaven and the mom from Gummo. That's similar to this. It's about like a totally deranged like 13-year-old, and yeah,
Is he
like basically,
deranged in like that really kind of like loud way or like
yeah,
He
loud,
murders somebody,
invasive,
like a sociopath
why
because they're
can't they be, a
or psychopath.
little more chill?
because kids can't act. That's the really a quiet
What about
child.
Haley Joel? Forgot
Mommy,
about him.
your grandma is right there.
He's
and
right.
She,
What about?
she loves you. He's not that good of an actor.
But he didn't yell.
What?
I rewatched
Haley Joel is one of the greatest
Sixth Sense,
actors.
and it wasn't. I didn't think his acting was that great because I always thought like, oh, he gives like a really amazing performance in this movie. I'm not going to say it's bad. I'm just saying like I kind of understand how he didn't make the transition into an adult actor.
Come on,
just
man.
when Sixth Sense
we did
came
shots
out,
with him. He's like our best friend.
He doesn't have a career
did.
anymore for a reason. It's
Yeah,
like
he does. He's in The Boys.
yeah, he was an
that's
Oscar
cool. Good for him.
nominated actor at like 12.
well, hey,
So
what
he's a
else does he-
child actor.
so-
They don't
oh-
transition usually.
They
First of all, he
don't.
got the biggest award. You need
They
to get.
don't usually.
There's not a bigger award, so there's nothing left for him to get, and he already got the biggest award.
Oh,
At
yeah.
six. So what the hell? What's your
He
damage?
like went to the top early on.
It's
so now he's
never
just
good
doing-
enough.
William just thinks that
Critics.
he could have been the
Incredible,
the
yeah.
next Haley Joel or whatever. But then
Jealous.
instead, at the same time, this other kid, Haley Joel Osment, started coming up and
You attack my
beat William out
character
for all his roles.
while I offer a coherent argument. Look, he's very good in The Sixth Sense. He's very good. Okay. He didn't
Enough
have a long
said.
career. The kid in this movie is very good. He doesn't have a long career. It's
I think
not.
it's a child actor thing. It's few
You
if
have
you can
to-
make the transition.
You got to grade
Actually,
him
is
on a
that true?
curve.
No.
You got to grade kid actors on a curve. It's not
Sure,
easy.
sure.
You got to grade. That's why Epstein was trying to get all those kid actors together on an island so they could grade them all. Is that what you're saying, William? Get all these kids
As
on an
actors,
island,
grading
kind
them,
of like
grading their
yeah,
performances.
just getting like these you're trying to get all everybody, and then get every other celebrity to go and help grade, help judge.
Is
You
that what you're
joke,
saying,
but
William?
you joke, but that is a huge problem with the child acting community, and that is a big reason
Epstein?
why they have difficult problems. No, they are molested, they are taken
Yes.
advantage of, they are exploited.
That's why it's a joke.
It happened
And
to Brendan
Epstein and
Fraser, too.
Weinstein.
Even Brendan Fraser got it.
Did it happen to these
Leonardo
kids?
DiCaprio, I'm sure, had
Is
run-ins
this an
with
Irish
creepy guys.
movie?
Hell
Or
yeah,
did
it's
they
an Irish movie.
Where'd they
This
film
movie's
it?
very Irish. This director,
Hold
Neil
on, what?
Jordan, is Irish. He his career also kind of fell apart after this movie. Like he broke out. He had this really big run in the 90s. He made The Crying Game that had like all this Oscar buzz.
Mhm.
He made Interview with the Vampire. That's like his big budget Hollywood movie, which was a pretty
Oh,
big
shit.
hit, but it's
He did the thing. He did his,
It-
you know,
he then he made The
ran
Butcher
the
Boy.
thing.
The thing I like about The Butcher Boy,
This is after Interview?
yes. The thing I like about this
Yikes,
movie,
that's dope.
it's like that shit Adam was
Yeah,
talking
that is
about with
cool.
the spectacle. It's like there's a scene in this movie, and it's so subtle where the two kids are outside, they're playing in a fountain, they're like chiseling the ice out of the fountain to chisel it, like, and behind them it's like snow's falling, and it's just a giant. It looks like fake snow, but it looks like they're just snowing like a ton of fake snow. Like it's filling up this entire courtyard of this little village.
Yeah.
And like just today, that would be all digital snow. Like I do shots like that in visual effects all the time. It's just like, yeah, digital snow. And it's like
It seems like
looks,
this
snow,
movie. It seems like this
storms.
movie had like was filmed over seasons. They didn't like just like do
Yeah.
like a really tight thing,
Yes.
which is a
And it
cool.
it
gets-
looks
It gets
This
you
movie
thinking,
is-
if
it-
William can do that in his bedroom, then what is the government doing with this kind of CGI?
Mm.
we'll get to that later.
Adam, go further into that, please, for me.
They shot over
Um,
seasons.
This is an amazing, like location wise. If you want to like, you know,
Well, it's a
see
period piece.
Ireland
It
or
all takes
whatever.
place in the 60s.
but
so
it's like what you think, what you want to think Ireland is like. When you picture Ireland, it's like that 60s or whatever, that time period is like the version of Ireland that you picture. And
They got-
this is like a really beautifully shot thing of that on that location. It feels like it's also made by it's like a movie that feels like it's made by even though it's a Neil Jordan movie, the community that it feels like it's a homemade or like a community made.
Let's get
movie
into the
about that
community.
Yes, and which is great because it's like a very deranged movie, and there is lots of community. It is very beautiful. There's lots of like cool old cars.
Territorial shit too.
There's like cute little old ladies in the town. There's like a nice quaint village atmosphere, but it's about this redheaded kid who's like not a bully, but he just acts out all the time and he just can't behave, and he gets in trouble stealing apples.
He's a bully. He picks on that kid the whole time. He ends up being the butcher
Yes.
boy because he is a bully.
He hates Philip Nugent. He
Nugent.
loves his friend Joe. He hates Mrs. Nugent, Philip Nugent's mom. And Philip Nugent's like this nerdy kid with glasses, and he just can't stand him. And the butcher boy's like,
That's what bullies do.
he's like tough and big, but he's also like emotional. Like he gets really sad. His parents are a big influence on him. So his father's like a drunk, played by Stephen Rea, who's in Interview with the Vampire. He just likes he plays trumpet at like a bar, and then he'll just get drunk
He's
the rest of the
supposedly
day.
like a genius, though.
Yes. And then his mom is like manic depressive. And then
Yeah.
she only has like 3 scenes maybe in the whole movie. Like you see her in the beginning, like the kid is getting yelled at by Mrs. Nugent, and she's like, "Come on, Francie, get home." And then the next time you see her, she's like putting a chair on a kitchen table, and there's like a noose, or she's holding a rope, and then the son is all
The
freaked
perfect
out and
timing.
concerned. Yeah, but
Awkward.
he's like,
he genuinely kind of seemed concerned.
he's concerned, but he's
like-
also in denial.
Exactly. Not stupid,
Mm.
but he was like, "What's the chair doing on the table, Mom?"
And then the
he
next
just-
time you
he
see
just
her,
whistles Dixie
good.
away, and then he's like, "All right, bye, Mom," and then he just walks away.
Damn.
Like it's
That's fucked up.
and
Yeah.
then bada bing,
The
But
next
if
time
he
you
would
see
do that,
her-
that's fucked up.
she's cooking cakes. She's like baking like hundreds and hundreds of buns and cakes and like stuff for a party. So she's like manic. She's manic depressive.
The party scene is so
Yeah.
fucking good. How they shot that party scene where she's exclusively, it's like one shot, and she's exclusively just keeps handing those trays and setting them on
Cakes.
bookshelves, the cakes like just full of pastries, and then jumps into the song when they're all singing, and it's like, oh, she seems so normal at this
And
party.
what's the song called?
I don't remember.
The Butcher Boy
Oh, that's right.
ties
So
in with
that's
the
why the
movie.
movie's called it.
Well,
And
he
he
also
also,
literally gets a job at a butcher shop.
yeah, it's just a good screenplay. It's like there's a level of quality in the 90s that we just, for when it comes to movies, that we just don't have anymore. And sometimes that makes a
Oh,
movie a
really?
little more formulaic, but they just, they
The
like
story
make this,
unraveled. You had
the
no idea where it was
screenplays,
going.
yeah, they just feel ironed out. Like they just went over it and over it and over it.
Yeah.
You're not
Yeah,
going
it's
to get
really
that
good. The plot, like the story is surprising and fun and like you don't
entertaining.
know where it's going and stuff. Yeah.
It's not
And
heavy,
this kid is
but
And
so
it's funny. It's
quick.
fun. It's like,
He's just
yeah,
quick witty, and he's like an Eddie Haskell.
yeah.
He's like different around different people. He goes
He's a
into that
scamp.
shop with all the three, but he's literally like a serial killer about to become a serial killer. Like that.
Right.
That was the
well, but
vibes
he's
I
not a
was
He's
serial
just
getting.
killer
so
yet.
he's just a psychotic little
No,
kid. He's just
yeah.
like insane.
He's a totally
It was
normal
like
kid at the
watching
beginning.
A
Dahmer
little exhausting,
kill
honestly.
spiders.
Yeah.
He,
Yeah, he's like one of those
well,
kids
but
that
His
would
no,
like
drunk
to
because
dad,
it's
his
not
drunk dad beats his
kill a
mom, and his
lizard or
drunk
something like
dad
that.
beats him. It's like he's a
when
product
he
of
kills
like
someone in the movie,
housing
it's really shocking
parenting.
because they're not setting it up in this like creepy, kooky way where he's like killing bugs or killing
Oh,
cats. Or like,
really? No, yeah, but it does. The second I knew he was gonna kill her is when she chases when they steal. It's early on. She steals the comic, or they steal the comic books, and she like chases him, and then she goes over and confronts his mom before her trying to hang herself on the table.
yeah, yeah.
And she's yelling and yelling, calling them pigs, and that's like the snap. Because
Well,
then
that's the
that's when
seed.
he's
That's the seed.
so then
It
the
hasn't
next
snapped yet. It has to grow, and then
no, but that's like
it
the
turns into a
beginning. He got
beautiful little
pig.
lemon
Now
tree,
pig is in his head. Pig is in his head. Pig is in
and
his
then it
head.
snaps.
Oh,
So then the next day, though, he confronts him when they're just walking. The mom, what's her name again? Noble.
Mrs. Nugent.
Nugent. Nugent and the kid are walking down the street,
Hi,
and he
Mrs.
literally
Nugent.
he sneaks up on him. So he could have done some crazy shit right there, but he sneaks up on him, runs around a car, and gets in front of him. And then he basically goes, "You got to pay the Nugent tax." He's flexing on a grown ass like 40-year-old woman, and she is getting like shook.
it's pretty
'Cause
cool,
he was-
honestly.
No, dude, because he
It's
was
a pretty
like, that's
cool-
like sociopath. That's psychotic
about as-
behavior. That's a
it's about
huge
as
red
alpha as you
flag
can
in a
get.
child. So
Oh, he's
then, right
alpha,
then,
or-
Did you
no, he
recognize
Dahmer
the
did that shit.
actress who played Mrs. Nugent, Ryan?
Was she in Harry Potter?
She might have been. She's in apparently one of your favorite movies.
Why didn't
She's in
I
the
say
I only
Super
got 3.
the Super Mario Brother movie,
the Crow?
The new one,
the old one.
Super Mario Brothers, isn't in my top 3.
It's one of your favorite movies, right?
She plays Daisy.
No, she's like the lady that puts the
I said
crystal
Blade.
in the rock formation and then like gets blown up against a wall and turns into a skeleton.
My
Super
top
Mario
3.
Brothers
I got
movie.
I got a new top
Oh,
3. This
wow.
will be quick. I got a new
Let's do
top
it.
3.
Let's do it
So
update.
the first top, it's so the
Is it Blade?
no the first. So we'll start with the
Really?
first, in no particular
What?
order. The Wedding Singer, of course. The Crow, of course. And number 3 is, and there's a huge question mark behind it, Memento. But I don't remember much of it.
I thought you were gonna say Midnight in Paris for a second. I was really excited when you were like,
No, I remember Midnight in
That was
Paris
gonna be
with
your
Owen
third.
Wilson. Yeah.
One
Night in
Memento.
Paris. That's
By
number
starring
4.
Woody
in China.
Allen and Paris Hilton.
Yep.
I've seen
Woody
Midnight in
Allen
China.
the Woody Allen sex tape, dude. That would be tight.
No, Paris.
Uh,
Is way too
Sumi-
and it's just him and his niece or whoever he. Fuck Woody.
The way
Harrelson.
like the Hulk Hogan
Wait,
sex
not
tape,
Woody
but it's
Harrelson. Woody
Allen.
Allen.
It's just him and yeah.
Him being like,
Chilling.
"Oh man, I just ate a bunch of sushi. I feel like a
Oh,
pig," or after like fucking
come here.
his wife,
Come
Suni,
here.
Previn.
Let me take off my sandals.
I can't with that guy.
It has like the Woody Allen credit, like
Oh,
font
also
at the beginning.
the
The jazz.
second
playing.
moment- the second moment, Francie. No, get out of here.
Yeah, come on,
This
that's
guy
ridiculous.
buys kids and then raises them to be his wife. That's Woody Allen. The guy's a creep.
Whoa.
Met him personally. He goes, "Hey, you want to buy a kid and raise it to be your wife?" That's what I do. That's a quote, and I go, "I just wanted to get past you."
For real?
That was a great impression of Woody Allen. Hey, what
Mhm.
about a kid? He really like changes
And
when
well,
he
he
gets
said,
into
"Do you want to
predator
buy?"
mode.
He goes, "You want to buy a kid?" I'm doing the impression right now.
I'm from New
You wanna buy
York
a
over
kid?
here.
He's like Larry
You
the
wanna buy a
Cable
kid
Guy.
and
He
raise
only
it?
sounds like Woody Allen when he's on stage or performing or whatever.
When he's getting
Yeah.
paid.
Otherwise, he just sounds like a guy from Tampa.
Well, I'm Woody Allen. I'm a butt cheese.
So
Hmm?
the little
The
kid,
second scene when he's shitting in
Francie.
the room.
All right,
That's
hold on. We're not there yet.
Fuck.
I know, but that's sociopathic behavior.
It's good
Doing
behavior.
what?
It's fun behavior. Okay, so the little kid's mom dies. That's a tragic scene. It's a great scene. There's a giant funeral parade.
She
Comes home.
ODs, right?
He ran away and comes home, and no, she committed suicide.
Yeah.
He wasn't there to take
by
her
a
off.
pill?
He wasn't there to catch her. No, she hung herself.
Mm.
Oh,
She
that's
probably
right.
would do
Oh,
that
yeah, I
every
thought she got
day.
taken away to like a.
She gets taken
Mental
away, and like he says, she had a breakdown, and they're like, "What does that mean?" She's like a mechanic is fixing her. A lot of the stuff she goes through, he goes through later. So
Well, Joe, yeah, and Joe gave him that analogy, so that's why Joe's so important to him. Like
And
Joe is
then-
the ringleader.
Joe is his buddy.
He was the
Joe's like the
ringleader,
only
though.
bit is the only thing is the only relationship that lasts because until it doesn't, because his parents first his mom dies and then his dad dies and he's just like alone. And then he wants Joe back so bad, but Joe is just like, "You're so insane. I cannot
when
be
he
friends
gets
with you anymore."
sent off for months.
Do you think that has
Spain.
anything to do with losing his mom and dad?
No, he gets sent away. He gets sent away to that Catholic school for months. So that's like when you're at that age and you disappear for 3 months, if you don't, it's out of sight, out of mind. Like kids move on. That's why it's so dramatic when you go from middle school to high school. And if you and your best friend go to different high schools and then you eventually don't become best friends anymore.
Well, he's also a psychotic person, and the kid
an obsessive,
is like,
yeah.
"I don't want to hang out with you anymore because you're so crazy." He's not just
But
like
Joe was just as crazy Joe was pretty wild.
No. Come on, Ryan.
He was way more reasonable, but at the beginning, yeah, they both took the comic books from that kid and they both threatened like
True.
multiple people and they
Yeah,
both
I thought Joe was the same as the main kid. Like, I consider them both like.
Of
Joe
course.
was the
And
ringleader
then
for a minute.
what
The
happens?
smart one.
Francie gets so mad at Mrs. Nugent and Philip Nugent that he breaks into her house. Well, also, this is a thing to connect it with the mother. He sees that she has a bunch of cakes and buns in her kitchen. So then he breaks in. So there is this like Freudian sort of motivation behind a lot of his actions. And then
Oh, it's his mom.
he starts smashing
You're saying?
everything. Well, he's jealous that he has a mother because his mom is dead. And so he smashes everything.
Oh, the nerd or whatever. Yeah.
Also, the
Yeah,
kid.
bullies like legitimately
till they
hate
go
the
fishing.
nerd that they.
And then the
bully.
other thing is Francie, the
Mhm.
lead character. He blames himself for his mom's death. He keeps saying, "I did this. If you do one bad thing, it's okay because then it's like you don't have to deal with it ever again." Like he's so traumatized by his mother's death and has so much guilt because he also, he's Catholic. So he's definitely going to have guilt about everything. And he attacks out at Mrs. Nugent. He fucks up their whole house. He starts running pig on the walls.
With her
And then
lipstick
he takes it.
everywhere.
He shits.
Tries to. He couldn't do it.
A little impulsive.
And then and then Mrs.
behavior.
Nugent walks in and then he gets arrested. And then Joe's like, "You didn't do it. Did you, Francie? You didn't do it." He's like, "No, Joe, I didn't do it. We'll be best friends forever. Blood brothers forever." And then he goes off to like an orphanage,
He got
like a
caught with his
work
pants
school.
down. I didn't do it. Your mom walked in and saw me with my butt cheeks out trying to shit on your floor. What do you mean?
I think he
didn't do
shit.
it? No,
It's not like
my
he was
heart-
trying
in
to
my
not get
heart,
I'm gonna
caught,
call
by the
you
way.
no because there's a line that says, "And I almost made the crescendo" or something because it's pairing it up with
Mm.
the
Talking about-
piano playing, and he
What's-
goes,
so what was he doing
"And I would have
instead of
made it."
pooping?
And he even
He was
says
just
something to the mom.
He was
when she
gaping.
walks in.
He was
when
goat
she-
seeing in front of the mom.
He was he didn't have to put. He was nervous about it. He had to talk.
We don't know
himself.
what happened behind outside the frame. We only
He
see his
says he
face.
didn't do it. He said he couldn't get he goes and even some. I think he said something to her. I mean, granted, I watched it so fucked up on gummies at like 3, but he goes like,
Let's move
What
on.
kind
Who
of
cares?
shape? What kind of gummies?
I mean, it's important if he
Just
shit,
like
'cause that's
regular
a felony,
gummies?
dude.
Regular
like
gummy
gummy
bears?
bears.
Flintstones,
Gummy worms.
a lot of vitamins. Flintstones.
No, but what shape? What shape?
I mean,
Were the
I don't know.
gummies?
Fred Flintstone, Bam Bam, like they
Dilbert
got all the
shaped
shapes. The purple
gummies?
dinosaur.
Yeah.
Dilbert
Call
shape.
back.
God damn it, Adam. What's your...
So he goes to like this.
That's true.
He basically goes to prison for
Be a good gummy
kids.
shape.
It's this like
Yeah,
Catholic school,
or it's a boys' home,
boys' home. You know,
boys' town.
he immediately takes over and has all the kids like thinking he's cool because he's so aggressive and tough. Like they think he's funny and they start listening to him. And he starts getting like weird visions of the Virgin Mary, and the Virgin Mary is played by Sinead O'Connor. And she does a good job. It's an
This
ironic
whole
casting
saga.
choice because she tore up the Pope's photo on SNL.
Right.
Oh, that's Sinead O'Connor. Damn. I didn't
And
know
then
that.
Is that before or after?
this is after. And then this one old priest guy is like jerking off and like dressing him up in a bonnet.
Yeah, it's a
And
boys' town.
he's in denial about like what's really happening, and he thinks it's funny, or like he
Yeah,
just
it's like
thinks it's
played
weird.
as like it's played to be like a
No,
funny
he just doesn't.
thing where
he
he's just
doesn't
like this
get-
fucking
yeah.
guy.
He's a young kid and he's never
All of
really
his
had any sexual talks or
commentaries.
anything.
I think there's
all of his commentary is like cynical, funny stuff.
and I think Clockwork Orange is a big influence on this movie. Like that scene in Clockwork Orange where he goes to prison reminds me of this. The narration reminds me of this. The way he ends up in the hospital is very similar to Clockwork Orange. Like he does have like a Malcolm McDowell kind of, sound. Like
Sure.
they're to like his character is similar to Malcolm McDowell in Clockwork Orange. Like everything's funny, everything's silly, but it's all this like horrible shit.
Yeah, it's like
So
levity.
It's like, oh,
In the
he's getting
face of-
molested. That's funny. Or the guy's jerking off in his pants while he's, reading
So
scripture.
are Catholics into this movie?
No, because they're rapists. So maybe in this, they might like watching this movie because there's a lot of kids in it.
It's
Catholic?
like I think people who grew
The
up
Catholic
Catholic like this
Church.
movie, but
Oh,
I don't
even-
think if you're highly religious, trad cath, I don't think you like this movie.
No, there's too many fucks.
If you're cool, you would.
So then he goes back. So like
In my
because
opinion.
he has this secret about this priest, they want to keep it under wraps. They're like, okay, we'll release you. So he goes back to home, and now his father is just like drinking all the time. He's really sick. He's like dying. And Joe
He sounds like me a lot of days, just laying on a chair, just coughing.
yeah. And
Flies
Joe
all
doesn't
over my
want to see him
face.
as much.
That's what you do a lot of the time.
Almost every day before I log in.
All you do is just lay in a chair and cough.
Look, man. I'm 40 now, Ryan. I can barely do anything during the day. If I was drinking, I would just do nothing. I would just
Yeah,
lay in
what-
bed.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You could sit in a chair too, is what
I
I
Ryan
can
said.
mostly
sit-
lay in bed.
Yeah.
No, I'm laying in bed right now. This whole thing. What if you just found out my background was a
It's like your bed sheets.
my sheets are green. So I just green screen the background.
You have like, yeah, your room background wallpaper or like bed sheets or whatever. You're just laying down.
Anyways, William, you were saying?
Yeah, so Joe doesn't want to see him as much. And they've grown apart. Joe likes hanging out with Philip Nugent. He's not that bad. They're getting closer. Joe's parents are keeping them apart. Mrs. Nugent, but he always blames Mrs. Nugent. He has this like fixation on her. I guess
He's right.
because of the
Yeah.
pigs. That first scene, that apple. It all started with the
Well, I mean,
apples.
There would be no child if it wasn't for her. So back to the source.
You mean
It's like the
because she
Bible.
had her kid that he was bullying?
Did you say it's like the Bible?
Yeah. Well, he's fucking with
And he
apples.
went to that church thing, so it even doubled down his resentment for her. Because if she never gave birth to him, he would never have problems. He would just be hanging out with Joe. Joe wouldn't have been sharing no goddamn goldfish with Nugent.
He becomes a butcher boy. His father dies. And then one day he shows up at Mrs. Nugent. Yeah, he shows up at Mrs. Nugent's house, and he uses like the gun bolt thing that like kills pigs.
Country for old men.
To kill Mrs. Nugent, and it's just fucking awesome when he does it. And he just like he kills her, and then he just takes an axe and he's chopping her up. And it happens so fast
the whole time.
Yes. It'd be like if you watched Addams Family and they started like murdering people. Like it has this
right.
It has this like, I mean, it's an R-rated movie, but you're not really sure if he's going to murder anyone.
Family.
Well, it's kind of has that like heightened funny tone, and then it's just like, damn, they're killing people. So like, we're going to do a drive-by.
So what, they No Country for Old Men, they stole it from this movie?
No, that's a weapon you use to slaughter pigs, Adam. That's been around for a long time.
Well, what was that novel? They're both based on novels.
I thought that was, true. But I thought that No Country for Old Men was the first instance in cinema.
You think everything is the first.
Someone use a bolt.
But apparently not.
It's just the first for you.
That's what did you think that was a pistol? Because that gun was.
That's what I mean. It's the first for me. That's what
that was a pegging gun. So the first thought when I saw that scene, when he goes up and it just pegs her face, I go, ooh, you could add some attachments, like you could add like a dilbo onto the end of that sucker.
Oh yes, hell yeah, nice, right, guys.
Pop, right up your
little product placement on the podcast.
Just do a little pig pegging.
You could add a little ketchup, a little mustard on that. When I worked at McDonald's, in the back, they have like guns that squirt out ketchup and mustard at the same time.
Yeah.
With like,
it's like fun to operate.
And that's how they like make burgers faster. I was not allowed to cook food. I was under 18. They don't like under 18-year-olds.
You were under 18?
I didn't work at McDonald's as a grown up. No.
You've been under 18?
Well, we all have, Ryan.
Oh my God, dude. Adam, did you hear that? Clip it.
Yeah, you got to clip that.
No, I've always been a grown-ass man, bitch. Okay? I never been under 18. I've always been above 18. What do I always say? I slapped the doctor's ass when I was born. I said, you're not slapping my ass, doc. How about you cough? I grabbed his balls. He coughed for me. I found out he had a little lump. So the doctor and Dr. Hoff, and we get along pretty well now, but I saved his goddamn life. And that was 2 minutes into my life.
What about the nurse?
So no, I never been under 18.
Did you do a breast exam for the nurse?
No, she was nasty as hell. She died 2 weeks later of breast cancer.
Damn, dude. If only she was not nasty as hell.
Hey, I was a baby. You live, you learn. And that was just first minute, 90 seconds maybe of existence.
Is the breast cancer related to her being nasty as hell?
I mean, I'm not a doctor.
You know, nasty bitches, check your breasts, because no one's going to do it for you.
Just born grown.
That's cool, man.
So after he kills Mrs. Nugent, he takes her body out of the house. He also wrote like pigs and blood all over the house. And then all the townspeople, they expect like Jesus or like the Virgin Mary to show up or something that day. And this woman comes out of Mrs. Nugent's house crying. And then they all go, oh, she saw the Virgin Mary. So then like the whole town goes into the house and sees all the blood, and they're like screaming and everyone's freaking out. It's just a great scene. And then after that, him getting arrested, him fucking around with these like two little kids who are basically the new Francis and Joe. He's messing with them. Like, he escapes from prison. He fucks with the cops. He's just awesome. And eventually he burns his house down, and he's covered in full body burns, and he ends up in an insane asylum. The movie ends 2 minutes later. He's now played by the actor who played his father, but with like really bad red hair dye.
And
I
there
kind of
was
like that
no
though.
burns, no third-degree burn, no burns at all. Not even a scar.
From
True.
He was
He
he
healed
was
up
in a
perfectly.
full. He even had one
oh
eye
yeah,
closed. He was like in a full ass cast. He should have been
Now he
like
looks like his
permanently
father.
burned.
why do they only put one eye closed or
Because
open?
one
By
eye
the way,
burnt.
Well, it looks cool.
one eye got burnt.
Yeah, it
Okay,
means one eye got burnt shut or something.
right,
It's just one
right.
extra
Gotcha.
degree
That
to the
makes
burn.
sense.
That's like a 7th degree
Yep.
burn. So if you did both eyes, it'd
Yeah.
be like an 8th
It's an
degree burn.
absurd amount of bandages on his body. His entire body is covered in
It
bandages
was like a
except for
paper mache
one eye and his
art
mouth, and then
project.
like
It's like in
someone
The
gives him a
Simpsons when
cigarette.
Homer gets like
Yeah,
is like in a full body cast
it's like a
or whatever. It's like
cartoon.
the same sort of basically it.
And they're gonna have to change that out like every day. That would take hours.
Oh yeah. That's like a whole roll like on your body.
So then the ending, I didn't get that.
He sees the Virgin Mary.
Yeah, and then the flower, he like hears the voice again. So did he get lobotomized? Because we missed a lot of details. There's a whole detail when he was in the psych ward when they threatened.
Oh yeah, they give him
he
they
escaped
give
the
him
psych ward.
electroshock
He
therapy.
escapes jail. He escapes everywhere he gets imprisoned. He escapes and then gets imprisoned. He is the Joker, and then he gets imprisoned again almost on purpose. He could have got away with killing her, with killing Miss Nugent. He hid the body in the pig slop. So all the pigs would have ate her bones and stuff. But instead, he was fucking with those kids, and he told the kids to go. He told them where the body was. But he said there's 1,000 caramel bars or whatever their favorite
Flash
candy bar
bars.
was. Flash bars.
And the
so
little
they
kid.
ran in there. But they found the head. The head rolls out.
I
So
think he
he
wanted to
gave
get
himself
caught.
away, and then he went home. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then he burned him. He was going to kill himself, and then he went home to burn himself alive.
Well, he's manic depressive. That's the thing. He's a lot like his
It's
mom.
just like his
Like,
mom. Yeah.
yeah,
He's his mom
Like
and his
his
dad
mom.
together. Like it's a horrible cocktail, Molotov cocktail.
and
someone
like
said.
when he gets really sad, like when he finds out like Joe doesn't want to be friends with him anymore, and he's hanging out with Philip Nugent, like
he has no one
when he
else.
reads a letter, he's like so devastated. He's just like laying on the ground.
The
Like he can't.
goldfish.
Yeah, he's like catatonic. He says Joe or Philip gave him a goldfish, so he goes to the carnival and he's trying to like win like 12 goldfish to give to Joe, and then
And he's a dead shot. He didn't miss a single shot.
he's kind of like Bart Simpson. This is very Bart
Yeah.
behavior.
This is Jeffrey Dahmer behavior. Or whatever other serial killer.
Yeah, you're right.
Hey, when you're right, you're right.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like Jeffrey Dahmer is not like running around like screaming and like doing insane things. I feel like he's like a very quiet.
No,
You
he
know what I mean?
was in high school at
Always
this
the
age.
person you least
Yeah, as a
expect.
kid though. No.
He
Have
was?
you not seen any of the? Yeah, he would do like insane. He'd go to the mall and like pretend to have
Super
seizures, and people would laugh at him.
aggressive.
They thought he was being funny.
They
No,
want
he was like-
attention.
yeah, he was like the center of attention, but he would like do stuff and just kind of. It'd be like Andy Kaufman type stuff.
That's kind of like
Yeah.
one of those.
But then he would push it to it just get weird.
He once killed a person by reading to
flash
them
mobs.
the Great
like a
Gatsby in
one-minute
its
Entire time he
entirety.
read- I just want to read you a book.
He's just an eccentric guy.
Yeah, he was.
One time after killing a
And
young
his
black
father was a
teenager,
drunk. His like these are just bad dads.
Oh,
These
okay.
are products of bad dads.
he
Adam.
after killing a young black man,
I
he
know. I get it.
he took him out for milk and cookies.
And what do they say about giving a mouse
After
a cookie?
Yeah, corpse. It's very kooky. He's the Andy Kaufman of serial killers.
yeah,
You know,
he's a quirky
when he
guy.
died, we were like, is it a bit?
Is he dead? Did he actually?
guy that
did he
killed-
actually fuck that skull.
Andy Kaufman had like
R.I.P.
schizophrenia and like delusions of Jesus and stuff. So these, a lot of butcher boys are out there. They got
It was
they're-
his
they're
cellmate
insane.
Bob Zamuda.
Yeah, when you're insane, you know, you think you talk to God.
Pray to God.
Right, right.
That's the problem. That's the difference. You don't
You
talk
can't
to
talk to
God. Pray to
can't
God.
talk if you're not going insane,
No, God doesn't talk
or
back.
you
That's why you
don't
can't talk to him.
like. I don't know. I was trying to expand on your great point that
If you believe in God, you're
you were
insane.
saying.
And if you don't,
No,
you're even
really
crazier.
thinking that you were talking to God,
Adam, do you believe in
like
God?
that. Of course,
Coors is your God?
Jesus
The yellow,
Christ,
the Coors beer?
Jesus
Adam's
course.
Christian.
William,
I'm a
who's your
Christian
God?
man,
I don't believe in
Christian
God.
Judeo man.
I believe in nothing.
So nothing is your God?
No, God, Ryan.
Ah, so you do. I'm your God?
He gotcha.
God
No,
God,
Ryan.
Ryan,
You heard it. Clip it. I'm God Ryan.
no.
Too late.
dude, you can.
I can do whatever I want.
You're God. I'm doing a podcast with God.
Oh my
I was about to
God.
say, like,
I
wouldn't it be
revoke it. This
cool?
is too much pressure.
I was about to say, like, it'd be cool if there was a podcast
No,
with
it's not.
God, but Mel Brooks and Carl Reiner already did that. They
Right.
made it. They
You're
had
like, hey,
that
what if it was
bit
this
like 80
classic,
years ago.
classic 100-year-old bit?
Conversations with
That's
God, and he could have like funny anecdotes.
Just gossip
No.
with God.
mhm. That's a good idea. That's a good bet. That's a good
Gossip
idea.
dishing with God.
Instead of the 6,000-year-old man, what if it was the
Infinity.
7,000-year-old.
6,001-year-old man?
Oh,
And
nice.
it's Woody Allen talking to 6,000 babies.
And it goes, yeah, you could make a
6,001.
potentially good wife.
Oh
It's
boy.
like it's like a cattle ranch full of babies, and Woody Allen's the farmer, the ranch,
I bet
the
Wes
rancher.
Anderson and Woody Allen have a secret handshake.
Of
Why?
course,
Why is what are you looping in Wes Anderson into this?
Just a
probably Adam
feeling.
Bowers
Just a
too.
feeling.
What if he was on the Epstein flight logs?
Woody Allen.
He
No,
was.
Wes
He would.
Anderson
No,
would be
Wes
pretty
and
upset.
him. So Wes was co-pilot and Woody was flying.
What if
They weren't on
Obama
the. They
was?
weren't on.
To
They
the
weren't on the
island?
guest list. They were on the working list. They were pilots.
Oh wow.
They were steering the ship.
I don't know. Okay. I guess that's
What
not
if Pee Wee Herman knew
not
Jeffrey
as that as bad.
Mm. Now Pee Wee Herman, he was doing
Dude,
maintenance
that would be a
on.
bummer.
He did
Why
like
are
the
they all
orange. He did. Because you got to work your way up to become a guest to get to the island.
Oh, I see.
So Pee Wee, yeah, he was doing the
Like interning
cones,
at a comedy
directing
theater.
flight. Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to know where Whoopi Goldberg was?
Please tell me.
Punching tickets.
Dude, yeah, if Whoopi was on the flight logs,
She's on the staff log.
people would be really sad.
Who's ever not, whatever celebrity's not on the flight log is most definitely on the staff log.
Interesting theory. Yeah.
Theory.
It'd be cool if Jeffrey Epstein like ran into Gary Glitter, and they had like a little moment where they both sort of like nodded like across the hall, like, "Hey, I know what you're up
They
to."
were they were
Two men of
cellmates.
similar ilk, just like Jeffrey Epstein and Gary Glitter. You know
Who the hell's Gary Glitter?
Oh, they're
what? He's the guy
reminiscing stuff you're saying.
who he sang the song "Rock and Roll Part 1," also known
Like
as
the greatest like sports anthem.
Hey, the Joker
They
song.
still play that song, I feel like.
Of course, it's a
Like
great
hockey games
song.
and stuff.
It's fun.
He had a
It
name.
is
Somebody
when you
made
make
that?
a masterpiece, it doesn't,
Anyway,
It's like the birthday song.
what did we learn about the Butcher Boy? What's the lesson? If you don't like someone, kill their mom.
Skip all the bullshit and do it right out the gate. But he needed to learn the skills. And you know what I like about in that scene, this is again not on the lesson, but in the scene where everybody's running to meet the Virgin Mary or whatever deity they think that it's going to show up. And he goes to the butcher shop and he's like, I can take over for you. He actually finished the job. There's a montage of him finishing doing the butcher work, and it's like a short 40-second
he's a
montage.
good. He's smart and
He-
capable.
But he finishes his job. That work ethic. He finishes that job, whistling Dixie, hangs the last pig, and then when he grabs the tool belt, I'm like, oh, he's gonna go kill somebody. And then he whistles through the whole town while everybody's running around him with his cart. I guess the moral is like, just focus on your work, focus on your passions there, because you can make both of them happen at the same time. This guy got a paycheck and then passionately went and murdered this woman within an hour. So like, just rise and grind. That's
Jeffrey
I think
Dahmer worked at the chocolate factory.
he was a meat grinder. He turned something he turned something he loved into work. And what do they say? You'll never work a day if you do something you love.
True.
So take a note from these
learn
guys.
a lot from Jeffrey Dahmer.
That's one of my favorite Woody Allen movies.
And Francie.
Good old Francie.
Francis Brady.
Francis Brady.
I feel for him.
And another lesson, don't kiss your kids on the lips, Tom Brady.
Tom Brady kisses his kids on the lips.
That's great. That's totally. I'm as a libertarian, I don't like rules like that being enacted, Ryan. But that's a slippery slope.
You're just saying you don't want the
think it's just
government to tell
weird.
you that you can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wouldn't do
society's
it.
telling you. The government's not telling you. Society's telling you. The whole community is saying, don't kiss your kids on the lips. Unless they're of age. If they're over 18, make out with them. Like, just make sure it's
What
Yeah,
about the Virgin Mary?
libertarians should also be against like societal judgment. You know?
Yeah, libertarians.
That's your
Gossip.
right. That's your right. In society to judge people.
Very anti-gossip group.
You're allowed
Let me
to
do
gossip.
whatever I want to
Free
do.
speech.
But you can't do whatever you want to do.
Right.
But if you do whatever you want to do, then
But
I
I'm
should
saying
be
don't
able to do
gossip.
whatever I want to do.
Yeah.
All fucking stupid.
Say don't gossip about, you know.
Don't gossip,
libertarian
but if I want to
party,
gossip,
conversation,
then I'm going to gossip because that's
podcast
my
is
right to
just-
gossip, but you can't gossip.
It's just libertarians arguing about what is libertarian. They're like, no, this is.
No, it's
No,
great.
this is libertarian. They can't agree on anything.
Oh man.
You know what? I disagree with that as a libertarian, and I think
Here we go again.
Here we go again.
again.
The libertarians.
The
Well, I was singing Dolly
6,000-year-old
Parton.
libertarian. That's my new podcast.
That's cool.
What else? There's so much that happened in this movie that was awesome.
Remember the nuke? The dream
nuclear
sequence where the
Oh,
nuke went off
yeah,
in
the
Ireland,
dream
in his
sequence.
town?
At the thing.
Pretty
yeah,
good
he
looking.
goes,
I
Special
love how
effects.
Is
he's
that
like,
the
oh,
lake behind you?
he's constantly like saying like bloody communists or like I hate the aliens or the, you know,
Yeah, there's
he's like,
aliens and shit. Like
he's
good,
constantly like
spectacle in this
paranoid
movie, for
about
sure.
like,
Well, he hears the adults talking like that.
yeah, he's just repeating things.
When he
It's
ran
like-
he ran away for like a week, right? He like disappeared.
He rode a wagon with some like
They don't tell
Irish
us what time,
guy.
how long. Yeah, he went to a different town. So he was gone for at least a night.
no, he's gone for
And-
his mom kills herself and then has a funeral by
and
the time he gets back.
in the middle of the funeral. So what's that? Weeks? A month?
2 weeks.
He like ran away.
He also steals money and he just buys a bunch of candy and goes to the movie theaters and eats like a bunch of ice cream and like sandwiches.
He's living his best life.
He goes out and gets it. The thing is, he's smart.
He literally,
he
goes, I wanted to do, he can talk. He's a charmer.
He has all these skills. Yeah. And he's just such a psycho.
It's a shame.
That's why he has those skills. Because when you don't care about societal norms, and that's just bringing me back to the libertarian thing. Because when society and government are trying to gangbang you,
Breach.
By
I
society, you
say-
mean like your
I say
neighbors
slap
gossiping?
your butcher belt
what you're doing.
on and call me the butcher boy because
Okay.
I'm gonna get me some nuggets. You know what I'm saying?
With your
Oh,
Malcolm
Nugents.
X, with your Malcolm X
yeah.
glasses, you look like the Malcolm X of libertarianism.
Whoa. Imagine that guy.
That's like a really angry person.
Yeah, he's pissed about
Just constant
Plymouth
fame
Rock didn't land on. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock has too many
landed on
regulations.
us.
Yeah. I want to pay taxes to Plymouth Rock.
I just think statues. I think we should make twice as many statues. Quit taking them down. I think put more up.
You're just really into statues.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what they're
Just love-
put a
just a guy that
Harry
loves
Potter
statues.
statues and Greta
Oh, I see.
Thunberg.
Just don't raise my
and-
taxes.
yeah, just please don't raise my taxes.
But here's some money for the statues.
Oh, I'll donate for statues.
Yeah, donation-based
I'm a
statues. That's
libertarian.
the kind of society we could have. You could, but and as
BDS.
many as you want. Like, just put them up.
I should be able to do whatever I want on my land.
You don't own any land.
But when I do own land, I want the ability to do whatever I want
all
on
the
that
land
land.
is already owned. Where are you gonna buy land?
What do you want to do?
Because are you gonna buy land in America? Because it's not called William, it's called USA. So you don't.
I want to
own this
build
land.
statues on my land. I want to build a statue of me.
Oh, it's like your own
Yeah,
little
I want to buy
nation.
land in like,
Your own
But they're
nation
not
Nevada,
gonna
state.
New
own it. They're gonna
Mexico,
take it, man.
New
But it's
Mexico,
just a
Idaho.
plot. It's like a
Yeah,
lot in a
but-
residential neighborhood, like with a house on it and a driveway. It's just like your little.
Don't do it. Government will
It's
take
my
it. Put it in a
statue, and I'm
museum.
like, I have a boner. I'm wearing like blue jeans, and I have like my jeans are
Oh,
the
that's
zippers
doable.
down, and my boner is sticking out,
That's doable.
Wow.
You won't need much rock for that.
and it's just in a nice like
Oh,
suburban neighborhood
You still got that tiny little bony?
in Idaho. Yeah, I got my tiny little boner.
damn.
It's creepier because it's like it's smaller, but it's a giant statue, so
Right.
it's very visible.
Like
Yeah.
when not considered to scale, it's gigantic.
Hey,
Exactly.
put a tiny
That's
home
what
on
you're
it. I'll
saying.
live there. I'll live there and clean them.
What?
Thank you. I would hire you to do that.
If you put a tiny home next to your house or whatever, let me live in the shed, whatever. I
tiny-
don't know. I need a place, man. I'll live there. I'll be your statue boy. I'll clean your little tiny wiener on your statue.
I want to be a slumlord.
Your little giant tiny wiener on this little giant tiny.
I want to be like M. Bison.
Pretty good
you know?
offer.
I want like statues of me. I want to be like a video game bad guy, like Mortal Kombat. I want
8-bit.
like
I mean, you got an 8-bit wiener. It's just pixelated.
Shang
It's
Tsung.
like 2 squares.
I want like karate guys living on my house with my statue,
Oh,
worshiping
cool.
me like I'm Goro.
Shit. Well, I'll
And I
just
have
be the maintenance
tournaments.
guy.
But
I
instead
don't
of
want
having
that. I don't wanna
4 arms, you
do
just
none
have
of
a
that.
tiny dick.
I'll just clean the statues.
And I have a tiny dick.
Tiny
How
bone.
come there's no maintenance guys on Mortal Kombat? Who's cleaning up all the broken
The janitor
walls and
fighting character.
Yeah.
It's like a
Well,
guy
who's
with
the
like
construction people that are like
It's
when
just
you
like
when
fuck all this like blood and spines.
Goro
and stuff.
throws some dude through a fucking giant gargoyle, and then there's one guy in the back who's like, God damn, that took us 6 months to build.
Yeah.
Like who's cleaning up the mess? And that's the true mortality of it.
Classic Goro move.
fatality. What about the Butcher Boy as a kid?
Fatality.
Minimum wage on Mortal Kombat.
Where's the
Island.
Irish Street Fighter character?
Mm.
You
At
know?
the bar?
The little Irish boy.
Didn't get the invite because they were too drunk.
Yeah. Irish martial
That
arts.
would be cool. A little Irish kid is in Street Fighter as a playable
Who's like
character.
the most powerful one, but they didn't show up because they were literally at the pub and they got the letter and they're like, fuck off, Raiden.
A leprechaun.
Yeah.
But then when they do show up, it's like a 1-hit kill.
Oh yeah. And also like
Yes.
2 days ago was St. Patrick's Day. So this is all This is totally on
Oh, I
theme.
watched it. Yeah.
It was
that Friday.
honestly, yeah, it was nice to be able to, participate in the holiday.
Yeah, it's a great
I'm
holiday.
busy. I don't have
with great
I'm a
with
parent.
a
I'm
great
working. I don't have a lot of time,
history.
but I got to get a little St. Patrick's Day
All hail St.
experience
Patrick. All
thanks to this
hail
movie.
the genocidal maniac, St. Patrick's.
Oh, damn.
Is he
It'd be cool
canceled?
if you worshipped St. Patrick.
Can I have a
look at
statue
the
of St. Patrick on my land?
St.
no.
Patrick is canceled.
Well, there was
No,
a
I mean,
viral
St.
TikTok
Pat-
this week about him that
What
was
happened?
shocking people.
He's
They were saying
alive?
St. Patrick,
I'm sure, of course.
St.
When he
Patrick
dro-
is doing TikTok?
when he drove out the
By the way,
snakes.
of course it's shocking.
Hold on. He didn't drive out
Okay.
snakes of Ireland. He drove out gypsies.
Well,
Oh.
vagrant,
He committed
probably.
genocide. He
Yeah,
committed
it
a
was
gen-
like
and
he killed a whole religion.
he also like killed all the druids.
Serpentine.
For real?
A serpentine.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wiped
real.
out the last remnants of like the serpentine religion.
He's a
boy.
Catholic.
Yeah, it was for Catholicism. So yeah, they honestly taught us that in school. Well, they said they made him sound like a hero in the books when I was growing up.
Who's going to break it to the Irish?
They know they're
They
the
like to
ones that are-
drink.
it's like the Alamo here. Who's gonna break it to the people here in Texas that are like, never forget the Alamo? It's like 5 slave owners were fighting to keep land that was Mexico so they could keep owning slaves.
Did they win?
Crazy that.
No, they
Yeah,
did, and they didn't win. They lost the
Oh,
Alamo.
Okay. I mean, that
There's
makes sense.
5
Like,
guys against an army. It was no 3, and it wasn't even one dude wasn't even wearing that raccoon
Well,
hat. There was one
we
pic-
kept the
hold on,
land.
what?
We kept the
Yeah,
land.
the
Wait.
raccoon hat is a hoax.
Davy
Not a
Crockett.
Davy
Motherfucker.
Crockett didn't wear a raccoon hat.
God damn it.
They even talk about it at the Alamo.
What's the
There
point
might have
of
been
that?
there might have been one picture where he was like wearing it. I think there was like one instance where he wore it, and then everyone was like, just did it. Also, the Alamo's
His
not
ha-
good.
his hat in
Dude,
real
I
life
wouldn't
was really
expect a
stupid.
Florida man to figure to
What
understand
kind of
that.
hat was he wearing?
Like a hot dog hat.
Like a bucket hat?
Witch's hat.
Yeah.
Witch's
It's
hat?
a
Wow.
pointy-
A cool
Yes.
bucket hat.
He was trying
Damn.
to do magic. That was the lad. They're all methed out, cracked out, fucking San Antonio fucks. What are you talking about?
They
Damn.
were all in like Spirit Halloween witches costumes.
They're gacked
With the
out.
long black
San
hat and
Antonio is like
dress.
the Florida of Texas. So imagine
Oh,
those
I see.
beach
Okay.
people.
Yeah, because the Gulf is there, right?
They're like swamp people, but in Texas. So
There's
it's
like a-
scarier.
There's
Special
like a
breed.
weird canal or something there where people like.
I'll tell you, Davy Crockett was wearing a raccoon somewhere. It was live.
American.
If you would like to see San Antonio on film,
His
check out
penis.
He's winking. Oh,
Daryl
yeah.
or not Daryl, Cloak and Dagger, and Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia. I think has a scene there.
Where Davy Crockett fucks a raccoon.
No,
Man, that's such a good idea for like a epic movie or one of those sorts of movies, like about history.
Where Davy
There's
Crockett
a
fucks
scene
a-
where Davy Crockett is fucking a raccoon.
That's where he got
Like
it.
in the
It
woods.
was a Jimmy hat situation.
Oh,
oh, he
used
needed a
rac-
you
condom.
mean like a condom?
He used raccoons as condoms, so that's why everyone's like, yeah,
That's not classy.
they
That's
go-
really
They go,
gross.
Davy Crockett always
that's
had a
dirty.
raccoon on his head. What? I mean, do you hear? Yeah, he fucks raccoon. Like it's a town. Only visitors don't know about Davy Crockett fucking raccoons. I bet he kissed them on the lips too. I bet he bent over and kissed
Frenched him.
He Eiffel
Frenching a
Towered
raccoon.
a raccoon by
All
himself.
right, what's our ratings?
He turned him and that raccoon into a cat into a 4. Figure 4.
That's your rating for 4 dead
Is that
raccoons.
what you do?
Can you picture it though? I'm gonna draw it.
I give it 4
Yeah,
and a half
4 is
flash.
a good.
Four and a half
Honestly though,
flash
I will give
bars.
this. I will give it 4.
Oh, that's cute.
I'll give it 4 million trillion billion flash bars.
Damn.
Wow, that's more than your rating.
Isn't that what they say through the whole movie?
I would
They
also
want
give
the-
it 4.
That's their
Um,
dream. That's their big dream, is to get 4 million to get enough money to buy 4 billion trillion
Yeah,
million.
an unrealistic amount of flash bars, which are
I didn't.
chocolate. You're saying?
They look like
But we're
caramel,
agreeing
like
on.
a hard caramel center.
Okay.
They looked good.
Might be real.
They're most definitely real.
This movie's really fun. Unfortunately, yeah, the beginning is really intense. Just screaming, everything is being screamed.
Yeah, we get it.
And
You don't like
That-
exciting
you have
movies.
ear noises. You have ear problems.
it's a little much. There's a point where the dad, like after like 15 or 20 minutes of every line being screamed, the
Yeah.
dad comes in is playing a trumpet at full volume.
Yeah.
And you're just like, Jesus. And also the soundtrack at the
It's
very beginning is
visceral.
very, very intense.
So you have
So
audio sensitivity.
You like a slow film, right, Adam?
I just can't, I need breaks, I think.
So loud noises make you feel sensitive, like it hurts your ears.
I just watched the movie and I think you'll see where I'm coming from.
Oh, you're also got a child around all the time, so you probably just want some peace and quiet every now and again.
That's true. Yeah.
You'll get used
come
to
on,
it,
you know.
baby.
Yeah, for real.
Pretty soon that kid's gonna be screaming a lot and making noise.
I still
Why
call
is
my
that?
dad
That's
as a
coming.
funny joke.
That's-
I'm 34, but as a funny
gonna
joke, I
completely
call my
change his
dad every
personality.
day. I call my dad every day and I just scream into the phone. And then go, yeah, bitch, that's what you get. From day one, I'm going to be screaming and crying. You bitching about me. Can I borrow $20? And then I scream into the phone and hang up.
Damn, that's really cool.
Sometimes
Cool.
I cry. I pretend like I'm a baby.
I don't think you're pretending if you're just
Why would you
crying
do-
like a baby. I think
No,
you
like I
are
do a baby
baby.
cry. I do a baby noise.
Why do you just to like tough talk
I
your
didn't-
dad?
Yeah, I didn't ask to be born. It's your and so expect your kid to be crying. It's gonna be loud noises the rest of your life,
Oh.
every day.
Oh my God.
Yep.
I give it
fucked up.
4.5 stars. I really like this movie. I think it's just very well written. I think the screenplay is really impressive, and I watched it a few weeks ago, and I was kind of blown away by how much better it was than I remembered.
The pacing's great. Like they directing
Everything
to
pays off.
writing.
Like everything's set up. It does a really good job of like, although there are some tangents that are weird, the sci-fi
Let's
stuff,
face
the
it.
alien stuff, but there's all the core elements are really solid. The big one being all the Freudian shit with Mrs. Nugent and his mom, and like his mom bakes
What-
cakes, Mrs. Nugent bakes cakes. He's got to kill the mom. He's jealous, you know.
On top of all that script stuff or whatever, like it's also gives you the treat of seeing like Ireland, how you imagine it.
Yeah, Adam sent me this screenshot last night of like a kid on the river in like
Yeah.
a tire swing,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Look at this shot.
No, I just was
Look at the." And he
like-
kept sending me screenshots, and I was just like, "Dude, if Adam isn't paying attention to the movie and it's just like taking screenshots of little kids swimming in a river, enjoying the
Hold on.
sights and sounds of Ireland and
oh
the
boy.
cozy. I was just like, I don't want Adam to be distracted and not like follow the plot. So I was like, dude, just watch.
Well, I followed it. Yeah, and honestly, I didn't need subtitles. For
There's shit
Yeah,
they- yeah,
right.
right.
Dude, they're making shit up. Half of the time they were
know.
making
Crike.
shit up.
They say this
You know,
word
you know.
crike, like it's a party or something. I've
And
never
then
heard that word
da.
in my life. Oh,
Adam,
Mrs.
there's
Nugent.
no way, dude.
I could tell. I could follow it. I don't
You
know.
can feel it.
I think I would just like assimilate very easily.
You're the
Into this
Bowers is an
culture.
Irish name. If you Google Bowers, you'll see like a big Irish coat of
Brian.
arms. You know,
Excuse me?
I'm Gaelic. I'm Gaelic. Is that in
Hold on.
Ireland?
Why do you know that?
because I looked it up. I looked you up, buddy. I Googled
What?
Bowers. family
knows you.
history.
You're his
Ryan.
Joe. You're his Joe.
Oh,
He's
it's
gonna kill
Saxon.
me.
You want to be blood brothers?
The surname Bowers is of
Anglo-Saxon.
Saxon origin, derived from the word burr, meaning a
Welsh.
chamber, a cottage, and a shady recess. Yeah, Welsh.
I thought it was about I thought it was like a branch.
Yeah, look at your coat of arms.
What is it? Well, I don't like that you
It's a pair of toe
did this,
shoes.
by the way. Oh hell yeah!
My name is Ryan, so that's like the most Irish. It means little king.
You can get your own Bowers
That's cool.
keychain or ball cap.
Why
And
are
you
we
are,
still
dude.
talking about Bowers?
House of name.
You can get your own keychain. That's cool.
But you want to see something really impressive, look up the Mendoza
Um,
coat of arms. That is a fucking good looking coat of arms.
It sounds
better
Mexican.
It's got
coat
like
of arms than you.
dragons and like it's very beautiful. There's like 5 leaves.
Oh,
Great colors, Spanish.
Spanish, that's right.
Spanish were cool, you know. They had cool castles, would
Oh, it's
torture
really-
people.
mine is really green.
Yeah, it's Irish looking.
It's green and
I guess
yellow.
it's Welsh.
Kind of. Yeah, it's Welsh.
Well, you could go to Ireland and you could become one of
I'm
them,
Welsh.
Adam.
I'm Welsh, like Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Michael
Zeta?
Douglas got cancer from licking your pussy.
Yeah. No.
Too late. Said yes.
You already said yeah.
Damn, yours is red.
Or you got cancer from licking his pussy.
Who's got the better coat of arms?
No. Dude. Michael Douglas would be licking my pussy. Okay. Just for the record.
I'm looking up the county coat of arms. It just says Cooney. It looks weird.
Well, did you
Cooney.
spell it
It's
right?
like a hand with an arrow. Cooney.
Cownie. You spell it right, you dork?
No, I don't.
Damn,
spell
yours
it
is really
right.
green too, Ryan. Yeah, it does say Cooney.
I don't know.
Break.
You don't belong to a regal nation.
Yeah, yours kind of looks like a conquistador thing, William.
Yeah, Spanish. They're conquerors.
Mine
We
is-
conquered
my,
the world,
No, you did not. What the
except for
fuck are
one
you
little
talking about?
country. We
Shut
won the fucking
up. You
Alamo.
didn't
We won the
conquer
Alamo
shit.
battle.
Yeah, the Alamo, that's what I'm saying, was a joke. You beat 5 old fucking racists.
Dude.
Thank you.
And that was
You
your
think-
property to begin with. It's bullshit you even had to fight that. But the
Yeah.
conquistadors were just as bad as those slave owners. Everybody sucks.
Catherine Zeta-Jones, she conquered those
Zeta?
lasers.
with
In
her
the,
Zeta?
butt sliding underneath. Yeah, that's how Adam
Yeah.
sneaks into his house. He wears
I don't know how to turn the alarm off. So
tight black clothing, and his ass.
I have to wear tight black clothing because I don't want my
Hugs
clothes
the
to
laser.
trip the laser.
That might not even be her ass. That could be like stunt double,
That would
No,
be
actors don't do that.
bombshell.
body double. I want
What's that
confirmation.
movie called? Crimes
That
of
movie is
Passion
called
or something like that?
Entrapment.
Entrapment.
Movies used to be cool.
Could
They're
be
like, hey,
called
look at this
Crimes of
actor's
Passion, I
butt.
feel like.
We put the
Yeah,
camera on
they-
this
well, they had
actor's
to-
butt.
It was very
What
important.
do you think
it was
they
like a
are
trailer
now?
moment. It was like putting in a trailer moment, giving the people a reason to go see the movie in the theater.
Ryan, you know we've been taken over by the communists of
Yeah.
Wokelandia. Wokistan.
Is that a line that the kid says in this movie?
No,
Or
but
like one of
it's
the
true.
Irish guy that picks him up in his car?
Yeah.
That's what he says to the kid.
That he goes, you ain't one of them woke kids, are you? No, the janitor, the landlord, or the groundskeep, when he's at the Catholic school and he gets thrown in that jail for stabbing the pedophile priest in the neck, he runs up, that gardener who's on his side, he runs up and he goes, damn, it's just been a bunch of these woke fucking liberals out here. I'm glad to see that. Woke, you part of Woke Nation? Is that what you said, William?
I'm looking at this Catherine Zeta-Jones
Woke
gif, and
Nation.
like they're not even lasers. They're just they're strings connected to bells.
Excuse me?
Yeah,
No,
there's
this
no
is a
laser in this
Photoshop.
scene.
This is a Photoshop.
No,
of
that's the
course.
actual scene. Or this is Mandela.
Well, I don't know what movie to do next.
think we just found it.
I don't want to do entrapment.
That's really lasers. I mean, strengths.
Pick a good one. You're the movie man.
I can keep picking them, but maybe one of you. I'm ready to hear pitches.
Wedding Singer.
I don't like that
Crow.
movie.
The Crow. We already did The Crow.
I don't like that movie that much either.
What? Now you say it.
I gave it 2.5 stars.
It was Ryan's birthday too. It was Ryan's birthday movie.
All
We gave it
right.
2.5 stars.
All right, William, you pulled my arm. You twisted my arm. You jerked my arm. Twisted me off.
Should we do a more popular movie?
I'm stumped. You pick.
What about Overnight, the documentary about the Boondock Saints guy? I don't want to suggest stuff. You're just going to say
no, because then we're going to have to watch Boondock Saints. Ryan, have you seen Boondock Saints?
Oh.
We just did an Irish
Oh,
movie.
Yes, I've seen Boondocks a bunch.
All right, let's just.
Should we watch a medieval movie? A medieval adventure.
Cowboy. I'm
Medieval?
playing Red Dead 2. Let's do
You
a
want
cowboy.
a cowboy movie?
Hell yeah, dude! Finally, thank you.
But one Adam doesn't like.
Oh,
Partner.
I thought I had it.
My character's getting
I'm
naughty, dude.
Spaghetti Western?
Yeah,
I'm getting rich.
Got a naughty
Dude, I'm getting
Arthur.
rich.
Do you want to do a spaghetti
Honestly,
Western?
we could do
For
Good, Bad, and the
American.
Let's think
Ugly.
about it. Let's
We
think
could do the
about it.
trilogy.
you wanna do-
Fistful.
I wouldn't
No,
do
I can't do a
those.
trilogy. Come on,
We do
I
one.
wouldn't do those. Why would you say it like
Have you
that?
seen?
The first
What
one
about-
of the trilogy is the best one.
I figured we would do Django,
No, you're thinking of Rush Hour, Ryan.
Django. Yeah, we could do Django. That
not
was-
the Tarantino one, the original Django.
I didn't know that was
Spaghetti
one.
Let's
Western.
talk about it.
There's
keep
also
talking about
like 70s cowboy movies that are like more violent. There's like John Wayne cowboy movies that are more classic.
No, John Wayne. Give me one of the weird ones. Or, off.
I say we do
you watched
Django. Let's do
Monty
Django.
Wall recently. Okay.
Monty
I've
Wash
never
is
seen
good.
it.
It's not
Is
good
it-
for
is-
our show.
Is Django gonna be? Does Django hold up? Speaking
Have
of
you seen
Woke
it?
Nation, no, only Unchained.
I think maybe what about what's the other?
Django's
It's
movies?
gonna be just super.
gotta stop.
Django
We
is a
gotta do this off
guy
the
who
podcast.
who carries a coffin. He drags a
Yeah,
coffin
cool.
filled
Oh
with
yes,
guns.
I want to see this.
Filled with guns.
Yeah, I want to see this. I've seen clips. I want to see this movie. Let's do that one.
There's a lot of people today that have basically a coffin equivalent of guns.
In America,
Yeah.
Wow, you just blew
Now
my
every
mind.
American is
Adam,
Django.
you gotta
basically.
send me some links.
Dude,
That's insane. No way. You're blowing my
Yes.
mind.
it's true.
No.
Look it up. Look
Some
it
of
up.
those with coffins.
Well, look at how much does a coffin weigh? It takes about a human, so about 200 pounds.
It's yeah.
I think a coffin weighs more than a human.
And you're saying America has a lot of people have that amount of guns?
Yeah. At least
One
maybe two
yeah.
coffins worth.
I'm being facetious. Is that the right word? Yeah, that's stupid, dude. They probably have
You're-
a truckload of guns. My cousins have literally a basement
Just
full of
saying.
guns.
Okay,
3
so
gun
like
safes.
multiple coffins of guns.
On
I'm
my,
just saying, like Django, it's not that big
if
of a
you
deal.
live on
That's
my
all I'm saying.
compound, if you
You're
live
still
on
hung
my
up on the
compound,
coffin. It's just
But
the
this
unit
is
of
in like
measurement.
1819. This is like 1819.
if you live in my
And you
compound,
gotta carry it.
you can have as many guns as you want.
You have a compound?
Or should we do Tombstone?
Yeah, that's the place with the statue.
Tombstone. I mean,
Have
we
you ever
could.
seen that movie?
A million times, yeah. I'm a drunk that wants to be a cowboy.
Oh yeah, your Doc
That's just since
Holliday.
you started playing Red Dead.
No, that was high school. We used to watch that and the other one you said earlier, Boondock Saints. That's like high school movies.
Kid
Right.
Blue, Dennis Hopper.
Never seen it.
I don't even remember if it's good. I know Warren Ellis is in it, but
High
it's
Plains
like,
Drifter.
that's the
Monty
70s
Walsh.
one.
There's a Billy the Kid movie that's good.
Oh yeah, Young Guns.
Dirty Little Billy.
Let's do
Dirty
Oh
Little-
yeah, Young
Django.
Guns.
Is Django good?
Yeah,
I'm
Django's
trying
cool.
to think.
Let's do Django. Throw that on the list.
What about Shane?
Never seen it. We should do this off the podcast. I feel like.
Why?
Oh,
Well,
we're
it just
still
seems like it's
fine.
kind of.
It's just movie talk. People
it's
get
just fun to
excited
talk.
to hear
Yeah,
movies.
yeah. Of course, of course. Okay, as long as
If you got a
everybody's
Western you want us to
liking
do,
this.
Wild Wild West, honestly.
well, I
Oh,
watched
that's
that.
one of
I
the
watched
best
that
God, dude,
during.
that's so sick.
I watched that during pandemic. It was just
One of the all-time great westerns.
Was it worse than the pandemic?
Will Smith.
Worse than
just-
COVID-19?
Will Smith, man, he
William
sucks.
goes, he goes, I watched that during the pandemic. It was like peak COVID. Like, don't even go out of your bedroom.
HBO Max.
And I had to get up and walk. I walked out. I walked into public. I went out. I just had to catch some fresh air.
Will Smith
Hands
is so
behind his
awful.
back. What are you talking about? Men in
Wild
Black's
Wild
good.
West, and after he is just a terrible actor, consistently bad actor. Just
Men in Black?
that's before Wild Wild West. That's like his peak.
Mm.
Men in Black
There's a
3?
scene in Men in Black I actually think about all the time, which is the one where he tries out to join the FBI and he does all the little tests, and he does them in those like weird.
Oh, when
Like he
moves
shoots the little
chair.
girl,
Yeah.
or when he pulls the table and
He
he's like
doesn't
breaking
shoot-
all.
Yeah.
I just think that's like, I love that scene, and then the rest of the movie's like, whatever.
What about McCabe and Mrs. Miller?
That's a really good movie, but
Shanghai
I mean,
Noon.
I don't know if that's
RV.
good. I never really watched it. It looks stupid as all hell. It looks like the
Shanghai
kind of
Noon.
movie a loser would like, but maybe I'm just
Walker.
being closed-minded.
Give
We
me a
don't talk about
space
Ryan like
sci-fi.
that.
Hey, I'm a loser. I'm here right now.
Space sci-fi, Cowboys
As
versus
much
aliens.
a loser as you two are, you dorks.
Let's do
Well, there's
Cowboys
like
versus.
st-
Why am I
there's
a
like
loser? I didn't say
Steampunk. There's like steampunk westerns, like Hardware and Dust Devil,
Let's do a
steampunk
cyborg.
westerns.
cyborg western.
Mad Max is
Cyberpunk.
kind of a steampunk western, right?
Road
What about
Warrior.
Dead
Yeah,
Man?
I've never seen any of those.
that man is
Rio
awesome.
Bravo, cool movie. Walker, kind of weird. The last movie, the Dennis Hopper, pardon me. The Hired Hand is good, really good, but I don't think it'd be good to talk about.
We could watch Captain America Civil War.
I wanted to do a popular movie next, but Django, I guess, is popular. People have seen Django.
Oh yeah, like since that Captain America took place during the Civil War, you're saying, Ryan?
Yeah, but which side?
Mm.
He's not Captain Confederate.
Have you seen?
Sure.
You know how they did
Checks out.
Superman Under the Red Sun? What if they did a
Yeah.
Captain America where
Oh, that's a cool idea.
he's on the wrong side? He's just
Oh, no, no.
Well,
Isn't there
it's actually-
there's Captain Confederacy. That's a real character.
oh god.
Well, Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Let's wrap this
cool,
up so I can go
All
play.
right, Wild Bunch,
Red
El
Dead.
Topo, Tall Tale, movie about
Any
Patrick
any
Swayze
Clint
one?
Eastwood.
yeah.
Damn, that movie that's a cool movie, man. Yeah, we're
Man Who
doing.
Shot Liberty Valance is good.
I wanted to do
For
Django.
the
I feel.
Apocalypse is very.
I think
For the
Django's a good
Apocalypse is
one.
a cool movie.
Have you
And
seen
then let's do
Django,
a
Adam?
samurai. And then
Yeah,
let's
I
do a
have, but
samurai
I'm down.
one after that.
Great Silence. Okay.
Great
Sounds
Silence is pretty good, but it's a little slow. I think Django is
I'd
good
like
for
some
our
Great
show.
Silence right now.
'Cause
About
it's
Cowboy versus
Okay,
Aliens.
interesting. You really have your finger on the pulse, William.
Let's do a crossover. Cowboy versus Aliens.
I mean it. Serious.
Is there
That's what
like
I'm
an
saying.
indie? Is there a
Cowboys
good-
versus aliens.
or Cowboys and Aliens, whatever it's called? Is there
Cowboys
Any
versus
movie-
illegal aliens.
Oh,
no? That's just
boy.
called a border documentary.
What about the three
But is there
burials
any
of
movie
That's what's
like
playing
that?
out at the border right now.
Is there any sci-fi cowboy movies like indie or older ones that are sick?
sci-fi westerns?
Psychotic? You say
Yeah.
sci-fi.
Or like sci-fi or a Western monster,
Western
Oh, yeah.
monster.
like
What's a good Western
Westworld.
monster
Westworld
movie?
is a sci-fi Western. The movie.
Sure.
The movie.
It's kind of a unique premise, though, that is
I've
specifically
never
like
seen
both
that.
sci-fi and Western.
The show's
The
based
only
on
other
that
one is
similar
Cowboys
premise?
versus Aliens.
The show is based on the movie. There is no novel of Westworld. Star Wars is
What
technically a
about
space
like Big
Western. Oh, what
Monster?
about The Searchers?
Michael Crichton wrote it though.
You've seen
Wrote
that,
Westworld.
Ooh,
right,
what
Adam?
about Pitch Black?
Searches?
Let's do
Yeah,
Pitch
Searches.
Black.
Yeah,
Have you
Pitch
seen it?
Black. Is that a
Is
Western?
sick.
That sounds cool.
No, with
Vin Diesel?
Vin Diesel.
Oh yeah. Oh, is that a sci-fi
then-
Western? The great tradition of John
No,
Wayne.
but it kind of is a survival. No, something like that though, but with Western.
Johnny
Monster
Guitar,
survival.
the great gay
Never
Western.
seen it.
Never heard of that.
It has the first, Johnny Guitar is the first shootout between two women in a Western.
Oof. No.
Very progressive.
Next.
Joan
This is
Crawford.
I'm sorry. This is men on film.
Sterling Hayden
Hey,
plays
Ryan.
like a bitch in that movie, which is funny
Hey,
because
Adam.
he's so cool.
Hey Ryan, that's not cool.
Hey Adam, this is your name title.
My
What?
favorite
Excuse me.
Western is
You named the title. William Still.
my favorite Western is a movie called Right
It was
Lonesome.
a one that I suggested and William picked it.
Right
the record.
Lonesome. That's my favorite
never seen it.
Western.
Wait, in one sec. I just want the listeners to know.
It
I
is
wanted
1
it to be
hour
called
and
Women on
13
Film.
It's 1 hour and 13 minutes.
That's a better title.
1 hour and 13 minutes.
It's a fast movie.
That sounds cool.
Oh, not for
I'm
a
always
title,
down for
I
that.
Lee Van Cleef is in
Thumbs
it,
down
and
for a
James
short.
I wasn't
Coburn.
listening to you at all. Adam and I were having our own conversation, but
I kind of want
I
to do
was
Right
saying
Alone.
everybody.
Let's
I was
do
saying
Right
everyone loves a
Lonesome.
shorty.
Let's do Right Lonesome before Django, because I feel like we got to do. We got to do
and I'm
obscure movies
riding
no
pretty lonesome right now.
one's heard of. This is, I mean, lots of people know it who are cool.
Wait, it's
but
scary?
No,
No, he said obscure, Ryan. Don't just
Oh.
relax. It's okay.
not obscure.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
I
You're
thought you
safe.
said scary.
Don't worry, big guy.
Yo, you ever see Tremors?
I love Tremors.
Oh, that's a scary Western.
You ever see Tremors 2?
I've never
I
seen
love
Tremors actually.
Tremors too.
What about Tremors 3, 4, 5?
Hey, I could fart my
Wow.
ass and fly all the way through all of these Tremors movies if you want to.
That's a very
Because
successful franchise.
because in Tremor 3 they evolve where they have to fart to fly. So, have you
it has
seen
the
them?
same.
Because it seems like you didn't get the reference I just made, and it's
I
not
haven't
because it was a
seen
bad
them.
one.
I was just asking a question. I never implied that I
Then
saw
we
it.
gotta watch some goddamn Tremors because we used to watch.
I've seen Tremors
me and my
2.
brother.
Tremors
Oh,
3, Back to Perfection. Oh yeah, he's flying.
Yeah, no,
The
stop.
ass
You
bla-
gotta.
they're
no
called the
spoils,
ass
no spoils.
blasters.
They literally
Oh,
fart
cool.
to fly.
This
So
is-
we,
okay,
if you
cool.
haven't seen the first one, let's watch the first Tremors.
That's awesome.
We
I've
used to
seen
watch
the
this
first
as
two.
kids.
I've seen the first two.
Oh, I thought you said you only saw the second.
I'm into this ass blasters.
Dude, it starts picking up at 3. If you thought it was wormy to begin with, they just keep evolving and it gets crazier and crazier.
1 second.
But the practical effects, the puppeteering on 3, when they start farting and flying away, I don't remember even the plot.
Well then.
We would watch that at my grandparents', like all the cousins, like almost every time we had it on, I don't know, VHS or we'd rent it.
Did you rent? Maybe you rented a VHS.
Well, yeah, I don't remember if we owned it. I'm sure somebody got it for Christmas because my parents and uncles loved watching Tremors. I mean, it was a good movie.
They're very entertaining. They're good.
I mean, the first one was like truly a good monster worm movie. You know, it's
Grab
not
a-
a good not a good monster worm. That this new Dune.
You don't like it?
No, I didn't like for as far as big worms go. Star Wars has a big worm. Like, you know, that's a big
Friday.
part of the sci-fi. You have a big worm.
There's a character in Friday named Big Worm.
Yeah. That I like that. So Dune just didn't make any sense.
All right.
But Tremors might be the best worm. It's a little worm, but
Really?
it's a pretty big worm. It's a
I
big
love a
worm.
big
It's not.
worm.
It's not
What
big
about the?
as Star
Have you
Wars.
I love
seen?
big worms in the sci-fi movies. That's
Have
one
you
of my
seen the
favorite
original
things.
Dune?
A long time ago. Is it better?
With David Lynch. David Lynch directed it.
Yeah. Is it better? The worm? Is there a worm?
Of course, it's better.
It's
a
like
good
4 hours
movie.
long, isn't it?
Nah.
The movie's probably good. The story's fucking boring as hell. Space politics without a lot of fighting. Takes like 3
What are
books
you, a
and then there's
simpleton?
one big battle. No, I don't got the time. I've read Lord of the Rings, read this, read that, Game of Thrones. I can't do Dune.
Lawrence of Arabia. You like that? 4-hour movie.
No, I've never heard of that.
I've never seen it. A little long.
Lawrence.
We will never
Lawrence
do that.
in Arabia.
Hold
We will
on.
never do that movie.
Is Lawrence an Arabian name?
I know Ryan
you
would
think
not
it's
like a
racist?
4-hour movie.
Unless it's Justice League. I
Yeah, I
watched that
can't
a
do
few
it.
times. Or the Batman.
We
Besides
did
Justice
that. We
League.
watched Justice
Yeah, we
League.
did
That
do
movie fucking
Justice League.
sucked.
The movie
Pretty
was
good, I
tight.
thought. Yeah, it's pretty good.
R.I.P. to
watch
my
that
boy
tonight.
Shazam. Chuck. He's not doing so hot these days.
Why?
Well, first he got in trouble because he said Pfizer was like a criminal
I forgot.
corporation
In the
and
interviews?
on Joe Rogan. And then he
Based.
said, and then his Shazam movie just fucking bombed at the box office.
Yes. The first they've never been good. God, that sucks. Go back to
Ryan, what are you
Chuck.
about to say?
Go back to the fucking Chuck
Oh, you're gonna
show.
drop something.
His CW show that was good. What was it called? Something Chuck.
Yeah, it was Chuck. It was called Chuck. It was on
Oh,
NBC.
just Chuck. It was just Chuck.
It was just Chuck.
It wasn't like the
That'd been
Chuck.
cool if it was just Chuck.
I love that show when he was skinny and stuff, and he was a little guy, little nerdy guy. But it's not his fault these Shazam movies suck.
Yeah, it is.
He's not helping. But it's not his fault.
But I feel like he's like a guy that's got like the comedic TV
the
timing.
costume sucks, the editing sucks,
TV.
the
Let me see.
storyline sucks,
I mean, it's no Deadpool.
they're already splitting. It's just no nothing.
You know,
All of them are no nothings.
like Ryan Reynolds, like he's the EP of Deadpool. It's like his baby. He's got Wolverine in the next Deadpool. That's a smart move.
I really
That'll
love
make
Ryan Reynolds.
this is like the thing, like with comic book movies, it's like everything has to be high, has to be like a high concept comic book movie now. It has to be like
You got
we got all the Flash, we got Batman.
You gotta have something to put.
It's got to
asses
be
in the
like the
seats.
comic books. The comic
This
books
is
have
the
always
how-
been high concept.
No, it's not
That's
about
why.
that.
crossover.
It's
So,
about
like this-
clever
Yeah.
concepts. Get spectacle.
it's-
Getting butts in the seats. Clean it up a little bit on this.
It just shows how stupid Hollywood actually is. That it took.
When
them
are we
this
gonna
long
get the first
to, like,
comic
start
book
doing this
sex
thing?
scene?
What do you mean?
Well, I was gonna say that this is
Deadpool.
you know, it's like
has,
how that
so
Catherine
many-
Zeta-Jones shot in
Deadpool
the
gets
lasers
pegged in his.
was in the trailer very specifically. That's like why people went and saw that movie. You know what I mean? So, because it was like new, it was like, who is this new actor who's like sexy, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, let me see Shazam's dick.
People were super horny for like a movies.
If I
to
was
see a really
Shazam-
hot lady in a movie.
Wait,
back
whoa,
then.
whoa, hold on, Adam. I'm about to catch him in 4K. William just said, "Let me see Shazam's dick." Shazam
Yeah.
is a 13-year-old
Exactly.
boy.
Exactly. And
But no, he's got a little loop. I think he's trying
I
to
wanna see-
do like a little loophole thing.
it'd be cool if like you see his
You
adult
see it when
male
he's in the
dick
Shazam. Yeah, if you see it when he's in
when he's
superhero
Chuck.
mode,
When he's Captain Marvel.
he's still,
And he
or is
fucks
he a consenting adult?
Technically, his name is still Captain Marvel, right?
he fucks that girl from West Side Story.
Hmm.
I don't. Sure.
That'd
I
be
haven't
cool.
seen West Side
I want to
Story.
see that. I mean, it's like, well, give me Shazam
Yeah, they should do something weird with the concept.
unrated
like that.
version.
I want Steve Harvey to enter the MCU.
Oh man, he would
Are you
tear it up.
kidding? What if he replaced Nick Fury?
He would
That
be.
would
Oh
be
my god.
Sick.
That's the kind of casting that we're talking about. This is what these movies need. You know, Steve Harvey casting.
Samuel L. Jackson's very good, though. I mean,
I
that
know,
character
but
doesn't need
imagine
improvement.
Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey is the boss, though.
This is
Somebody
the only
like Captain
improvement, yeah.
America's like, hey, boss, maybe we shouldn't do. And before he can even say anything, he just does the Steve Harvey look where he doesn't say anything and he just looks at him for a minute, and everybody around is like snickering and laughing,
Yeah.
get chuckling, and Steve Harvey. Come on, William, you can imagine.
No, the Avengers and the
Sounds like the most
Justice
powerful
League need to do
character.
Family Feud,
Oh yeah.
or the Guardians of the Galaxy and the Avengers need to do Family Feud. You know,
Yeah, that'd be cute.
superhero Family Feud. That'd be a cool movie.
That'd be really funny.
And then like they have to
It's
team
probably
up.
coming up.
They have
That'd
to
be
team up
Disney
and work
Plus.
together. Will there be a Marvel and DC
I mean,
crossover?
they did the fucking
win
Guardians of
Family
the
Feud?
Galaxy Christmas special, which I couldn't get more than 2 fucking minutes through.
So like they've done Marvel versus DC and DC versus Marvel. That was like a really lame crossover in the 90s.
I loved that crossover.
There
They
will
ate that
be
shit up.
They'll be funny
was-
when they're like, well,
was
we're
12.
doing it the first Marvel and DC crossover. We got Shazam is gonna fuck Black Widow,
Yeah.
you know.
That'd be really cool.
You want to sell tickets or not?
Kind of spectacle. Yeah, exactly. They need that kind of stunt casting. Or stunts. Premise.
And it's like a little kid and he's like, Shazam, Shazam, Shazam. And he turns into Ron Jeremy
Oh, nice.
and he bangs Black
Just
Widow.
a really old, fat
Yeah, porn star with
guy with a
dementia.
mustache.
Shot in prison.
Ron Jeremy now, you're saying?
Yeah. They say he is like riddled with dementia.
Oh, poor guy. That's terrible.
He's the butcher
Terrible
boy.
way to go. Mm. How so?
He's in a mental asylum.
Right.
He's been arrested. He's been detained.
Yeah, they gave the butcher boy electroshock therapy. One scene. Pretty crazy.
That
stuff.
scene's awesome. He gets electroshock therapy and he like zooms around and is
Not a lot of movies have the
Gurney.
balls to give a kid electroshock therapy and kind of like play it for laughs. You know?
they should. I would love to see a little kid get electrocuted in more movies. Jurassic
Love it.
Park, they don't play it for laughs. They're like, oh, the kid fell off the fence.
Yeah. What were they thinking? They should have been playing that for a laugh. They're like, hey, look how he's falling. Isn't that funny?
And he just like falls on the ground really hard. And Sam Neill's like, oh man, you just ate shit.
Oh, that like Friday gif.
Steve Harvey's there.
Yeah.
Did y'all see that little kid? He went bow. Dude, Family Feud.
Then Jurassic Park would have been a hit.
Family
Jurassic.
Feud, Jurassic Park. It's
Oh, man, the
dinosaurs
humans
versus
the dinosaurs.
Yeah. I wish I could
T-Rex
be an
never can
SNL
hit the
writer.
That's such a good sketch.
obviously.
Yeah.
Imagine pitching that
T-Rex
at SNL.
never.
And then it
Oh,
goes
they
up on
eat it
Saturday.
up. Or do they
On
all
a
just get
Saturday, it's
eaten
being
immediately?
broadcast to
That's
millions
a
of
5-second.
viewers.
It's a
Colin Jost is all
5-second
mad at you
sketch.
for pitching that. He's like, we can't afford that.
Just get those inflatable dinosaur costumes.
Colin Jost is really like stressed out by the budget limitations and based off of like the pitches that he gets. You got to remember that.
Keenan's like, I think that's funny. I think it's
Like,
funny.
we can't afford it.
He goes, we did that
We
on
don't have enough money.
we did that on All That, and it was pretty funny.
Colin Jost is like always really stressed out by money.
Is he the
When he's running the
headliner
show.
or the head writer?
We can't afford that. God.
He's the head writer?
Yeah.
Sure is. And he's married to Scarlett Johansson.
I think he's better than Norm Macdonald on Update.
Doubt it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my. That's just how I think. I mean, it's like Norm Macdonald was funny, but it was like it's kind of mean spirited. He's not attractive. You know, I like a.
You don't think
I like
Norm's a hunk?
Well, it's not. You never
One's a
get Leslie
handsome fella.
Jones. Leslie
I mean, he's
Jones would never be
college, so
like,
he's
"I'm gonna
he's
hump
probably
you. You're scrumptious."
Norm's probably
Oh,
not
to
that.
Norm. That's the
Yeah,
test.
I like that kind of humor.
The Leslie Jones test is if
Yeah.
whether or not a guy is handsome.
It's just a lot
No,
of
Come on,
mean
past
gay
it.
my
jokes.
mom's the only one that can pick who's handsome, and she says I'm the handsomest.
Your mom is like
Your mom really
a
loves
Hugh
you.
Hefner type
Oh,
He
nice.
wears a
She
red
has a
robe.
harem of
of
30-year-old
boys.
guys. Yeah. That are living in like in and out of
No,
her
it's
house.
I'm talking about my mother, but yeah, she does have that.
Well, and then
That's why-
Ryan's like the son. Yeah, he's heir to the throne.
That's why I moved out so early. Just too many guys my own age around. Too many boys around.
Yeah.
I said, Mom, get these hunks out of here. She didn't. So I said, well, I'm getting out of here.
Did you ever see that movie Animal Kingdom?
Good for you, Ryan.
Mm-mm.
Yes.
The Australian movie. That's kind of like that. The old lady has like gangster kids.
Hmm.
That's cool.
That's what your mom's like.
Cool. Well, are we?
Well,
how long have
here
we
we
been
did.
I guess
talking?
that's it.
Oh, no, that's it.
I think that's it.
Bye.